Welcome to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic of these type of topics that cannot be relayed over enough. This hateful anti-Black American continental African woman, this one, says Africans, that's very broad, do not claim Black Americans. Who is being divisive again? Her violence toward Black Americans. And the hypocrisy is she has hatred for her own African personnel. See, this is the kind of devious tether fleers that continue to permeate in various sections of America. They couldn't sit there and get things done in their own country, so they fled from this ancient continent of various parts of Africa in this situation. Now, there's nothing wrong, especially with the 21st century, that knows that people are coming over to different places. This is the global and it's going on more. Nothing wrong with that. However, with an Americanism, that there is a supremacist system that is the most awesome mental manipulation force that has ever existed. And they want these type of tethers to infiltrate various parts of America, to again push out various sections of Black Americans in various areas, politicalness, economics, social, college, business, because they got their hands out of getting freebies, resources. And then with the situation going on with the 14th Amendment, don't get it confused. How many of these freaking devious tethers with their little nasty, devious mentalities of violence toward Black Americans, who for without Black Americans, these many demon tethers wouldn't even be over in America. But the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, these dastardly tethers also, when they are producing out these offspring, unless there's a health situation, they are benefiting off the 14th Amendment of the Constitution that's supposed to be about Black Americans. So as you hear this little disturbing, disgusting tether who had to flee from this ancient part of various parts of Africa, or her parents fled, and she has the nerve to talk devious toward Black Americans. More Black Americans about to wake the freak up about these little devious demon tethers that have a violence of thorns in their head toward Black Americans. And what makes it even more devious, even extra, is that she has, and how many other tethers like them have a despicable, even anti-Africanness from our own devious wannabe Anglo mentality. Oh, it's a deeper thing. So let's go ahead and share my screen on this. Let me go ahead and share this particular first one. Let me go and get right on to this way here. She is beyond lost, beyond. So make sure you can see this. Oh, hold on. Oh, let me get that off there first. Okay, now, all right, make sure you can see this. All right, I'm utilizing this under fair uses doctrine. Today is April the 10th, 2026. You see what it says here? True African Americans. What is that supposed to mean? You see the game already she's playing. Do not claim Black Americans. What do you mean true African Americans? See, here we go again. This is why the generic African American terminology needs to be thrown in trash can of space. Because again, you got these tethers that come over to whatever parts of Africa and some other places, come over and they're African and, well, per se that, because there's 50 different countries, but that's a different topic. Come over to America, produce a Harvard children, they call African Americans, or they become naturalized. And how many of these little devious little tethers have been naturalized and what applies to, and they call themselves African Americans? You better watch this game. See, Black Americans can't run over to Africa and start saying, you know what, we are Africans regardless. And they be like, you're not Africans like that. That's a whole different game. Let's go ahead and play.
True Black Africans and African Americans do not claim Black Americans. We are not the same. African tends to focus on progress, family values, and community upliftment, Rather than dwelling on historical grievances, they prioritize education and hard work. They don't live life blaming the white man for all their failures, challenges, or the choices that they make. Many Africans strive to give their children better opportunities and instill values like hard work and responsibilities. They don't raise their kids to hate the white man and blame them for all of their problems. That's why they can't grow. Africans are hard workers and they work on self-improvement. They hold themselves accountable for their actions instead of making everything about race and blaming the system. True Africans do not celebrate when a white kid loses his life to a black kid. The decent Black Americans out there, we claim you, we see you, and we love you. Thank you for being a decent human being. True Black Africans and African Americans do not claim Black Americans. We are not the same.
What did she say? We are not the same. This is dangerous tetherness. You see how the nerve she's talked about Black Americans, she basically spit into Black Americans, millions of Black Americans' face, right? With few exceptions. This is what she did. She, her little demon, hyena tail, demon look, has the nerve to flee from Africa, from this ancient, resource-rich continent, right? This ancientness of kingdoms and civilizations that she couldn't cut it, right? Her parents and parents couldn't cut it and they had to flee. You see the nerve of this piece of wop. This is a very dangerous situation. Yes. Now she's talking about how Africans are hardworking. That's very generically, right? Which is a freaking overall lie. How many numbers of good Africans say, wait a minute, there's various Africans that ain't hardworking. They're extreme poverty. There are certain countries in Africa, old people know that they sit there are scamming. Look at what's going on in Minnesota with those scamming overall with Somalians up there. Billions of resources scamming businesses, ghost businesses that don't even exist, daycares that basically are just shells, no kids involved overall in those places. I mean, the list goes on, right? Milking the system left and right, fake child food assistance programs and stuff like that. I mean, scamming all over the place. But she's not talking about that. You see how that goes. Extreme high poverty in various parts of Africa left and right. It don't take but half a sense of research. I've done podcasts on this where you see dirt roads all over the freaking place. Poverty section of enforcement sitting there whooping them down left and right. How many times how a person haven't got stopping people and getting bribes off people? Oh, they don't want to talk about that part. But she fled. These are dangerous type tethers. Let me go ahead and share my screen with something for a second here. Also, give me a second. Africans don't talk about the white man. Don't do that. Don't talk about the white man. There's not. Oh, okay. You know what? Let me hurry up. Letter from Africa complaining about colonialism makes us the victims. Letter from Africa complaining about colonialism making us the victims. Right? Let's just read for a second or two. Look at this. Look at that. Pathetic. Looking at their colonializing or what they think is colonializing gods of theirs. But that little piece of a tether, chicken shit tether, won't talk about stuff like this. In our seeds of letters from Africa, Nigerian writer and novelist such and such personnel such and such looks at the backlash over a statement from Francis Press in which he was accused of diminishing the effects of colonialism. And he, white man? Different European white man, right? That kind of version. you get the point. This person right here. Remarks have provided Africans, which is very generically, with yet another one of those attack sessions that we so thoroughly enjoy, an opportunity to reprimand our former colonial rulers who once paraded themselves as superior to us. And what do you mean past? How many are still in various parts of Africa sitting there soaking up diamonds, soaking up gold, soaking up various sections of oil reserves, soaking up various extreme precious minerals, soaking up various parts of infrastructure that they are building up in various parts of Africa, building bridges, hospitals, stadiums. But that fool Tether has the nerve to talk about Black Americans. Africans is hardworking, which is very generically. Africa is made up of 50 plus countries or hundreds of languages and hundreds of tribes. Many of those tribes can't stand other tribes. Various other countries can't stand countries right next to them. Do you understand? But see, these scamming tethers are dangerous, people. I mean, they are dangerous. See, these are the ones that'll sit there and been smiling at Black American women in general. Oh yeah, you're my sister. You're my sister. You're my African sister or my African brother. While at the same time, she's sitting there doing a proverbial stabbing behind their backs. And she'll sit there and report back to what's going on, what the Black people are doing. She'll sit there and tell her wishful, what she wish she was a KKK member. Oh, she wish she can take off this ancient, beautiful skin of hers and put it on, just take it off and sit there and be Ku Klux Klan color. Oh, she wish she was like that. But she never will be that. And she hates herself like that. And she hates other Africans. 60% of Nigerian population is aged under 25. The French leader tweeted during his trip to Nigeria that 60% of the population, which like me, did not witness colonization. We are the new generation. We are going to dispel prejudice by rebuilding a new future through culture. It does sound like the same thing at the UN when the Ghanaian president, you hear them got their hands out too, right? Oh, we got to get reparations from the colonial powers, and they need to recognize that slavery was the gravest of anything that's ever happened in human history, and we need that to be recognized that slavery was that. And that kind of grovel into, isn't it? Oh, she ain't gonna sit there and say like that, right? But Black Americans talk about reparations. Oh, they need to get over the past, right? Do you understand that? See, of course, talking about reparations is not groveling. It's when people trying to scam over things and then try to leave out Black Americans. But when Black Americans talk about reparations, you got people again talking about get over the past. But how many of these type of tethers will have their little nasty little tarantula hands out talking about, well, we should have reparations too. How about you don't go to HELL with that game? You see, they know it's not no Black Americans to tell them you need to go to hell with that game. Do you understand that? And mean it. Go to hell. That more Black Americans say, they ain't gonna let these little tellers sit there and play this game. Right? But you see already how the person here was basically like, I ain't got anything to do with that slavery, baby. That's what he was saying. I ain't got anything to do with slavery. Right? That sounds like some people within certain parts of America and politicalness and that can certain entities. We should have anything to do with slavery because that they had nothing to do with us. And this personnel is saying the same thing. And you got a number of those Africans that were pissed. You see how that goes, right? See the hypocrisy. The criticism of Mr. Such and such person remark were swift and plenty. They varied from 4-letter words to accusations of encouraging Africans youth to sweep the crimes of colonialism under the carpet. You see this hypocrisy? See, that little nasty little tether won't say nothing about that. See, I also have a big problem with tethers when they have a bugness up their little mentalities, when they have a thing about toward against Black Americans, but they can't fix anything in that ancient continent of Africa. It's like this. They're like this. You got to watch them. You said, what do you mean by that? Look at that. They're like this. They look at Black Americans like this. What are y'all doing? Okay, that's not funny. It's not supposed to be funny. What are they doing? They said, look at Black Americans like this. What are y'all doing? Right? This is very dangerous. Like this. This is not going to be a long show whatsoever. Now look at this right here. See this little nasty little tether, right? This little demon tether, vile toward Black Americans. She had her own kind. She won't talk about this. As you see right here, maybe small. Forgive me if you can't see that. To where it talks about how this is an urgent need for clean water in Sudan, where war is fueling its worst cholera outbreak in years. Donate today to help us scale up our response to emergencies around the world. Every dollar makes a difference. Urgent need, cholera crisis in Sudan, right? $100 equals 6 jerry cans used by refugees to transport and store clean drinking water. Oh my goodness. They calling these Sudanese refugees. But that little sleight of hand scamming fleeing tether won't say anything about this coming from her various section of Africa. 1,000 equals 1 water and sanitation kit, each providing 10,000 people with clean drinking water for 1 week. Oh, she won't talk about this. See, this is dangerous tether babble. Again, she's like this. See what Black America's doing, but she won't talk about stuff going on in her own country or countries and stuff like that. This is very scary on that. Because more Black Americans about to wake the freak up on these kind of tethers. Let me sit there and share this right here. Oh, this is some good ones. Oh, I got some good ones for some people. Take a look at this one. On this, let me show this right here. What's this right here? Oh, that one show that one? No. You know what? Let me show this one first. Let me show this. I gotta show this. Remember, I said earlier that this is a tether that's a very dangerous tether. She will sell her own various of African counterparts because that's what scamming version of her tetherness would do. See, she won't try to get with Somalians or Ethiopians or South Africans or Morocco or Egyptians. No, she don't care about them. She's about trying to get over herself. Her little nasty little tribalism problems, right? But look at this right here. I want you now just keep that in mind what I said on that. She's very dangerous to her own tribe, tribalismness. Listen how she talks about Trump.
President Trump actually reposted one of my videos on Truth Social.
Ew.
At first, I didn't believe it. I just kept getting DMs and comments congratulating me. Then today, a kind lady messaged me and I decided to check for myself. Turns out, it is true! The video he reposted is titled, "Have you seen DC since Trump invoked Section 740? What's wild is I've gotten so much hate for supporting Trump. I've even lost friends and family over it. But
whoa, what did she say? This little tether that has the nerve to talk about Black Americans, right? All y'all talking about white men and stuff like that. And oh my God, y'all talking about racism. I'm giving an example, but here it is. This little seething demon tether is outright saying, oh, I love me some Trump.
Vote Section 740. What's wild is I've gotten so much hate for supporting Trump. I've even lost friends and family over it. But of all people, Trump himself chose my video to repost.
Ew. This is a dangerous tether. I'm not just saying this is some generic podcast. This kind of tether is dangerous. Not just only Black Americans primarily, but to our own type people and our hatred toward our own tribes in Africa.
That means a lot. Thank you to everyone who let me know. I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. Since I'm not on Truth Social, I just signed up today. Please make sure to subscribe to my lady messaged me and I decided to check for myself. Turns out, it is true! The video he reposted is titled, "Have you seen DC since Trump invoked Section 740? What's wild is I've gotten so much hate for supporting Trump.
Mm, 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 mm. What? What? Again, this is a very dangerous type tether. She only became naturalized within the 21st, early part of 21st century, and has the nerve to talk about Black Americans. And you see she has a hatred for her own people. She has the nerve to talk about how, oh my goodness, Trump, Trump, Trump. But watch this. What did Trump say not too long ago? This is the dangerous people. And again, I'm not just saying it's some genericality. This is a very dangerous type talent that needs to be shared. Let's see some for a second. I think you may find this interesting here for a second. Let's just take a look at something. I'm utilizing this under fair use of doctrine. Just a couple of seconds.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rena Nine, and thank you for joining us. President Trump is under fire for comments that he reportedly made during an Oval Office meeting about immigration. A person briefed on the conversation says that the president grew frustrated today as he talked about protections for immigrants from places like Haiti and El Salvador, as well as countries in Africa, asking lawmakers, why are we having all these people coming from S-hole countries come here? A person briefed on the conversation says that the president grew frustrated today as he talked about protections for immigrants from places like Haiti and El Salvador, as well as countries in Africa, asking lawmakers, why are we having all these people coming from S-hole countries?
But this tether, you heard how excited she was over she voted for Trump. So this tether, a dangerous tether, came from an ancient continent of Africa, with her little super tribalism, little faction self, ran over her parents fled over from the ancient continent of Africa. Again, I'm not talking about some of the good brothers and sisters of Africa. They know what kind of tether this kind of person is. They be like, go, she can go. She's dangerous. Again, she's the kind of one that she would peel off her skin if she could and join the Ku Klux Klan if she could. And then again, she would stab Black Americans behind her back, and she would stab her own kind. Because she's like this, people. Yes. Yes. What? She's like what? I'm not joking. Yes. Yes. This is very dangerous. And she has the nerve to talk about how Black Americans are, they're not basically true. And now talking about the white racism. Let's remember I said before that she only became naturalized, I think less than 20 years ago. So how dare her talk like that? See, her parents that fled, or this fleer herself, she don't have to worry about this.
Who walked out of the Democratic convention formed their own party.
The Southern revolt against President Truman reaches its climax at Birmingham under the states' rights banner.
The so-called Dixiecrats nominated the South Carolina governor Strom Thurmond as their presidential candidate.
There's not enough troops in the army to force the Southern people to break down segregation and admit the Negroes into our theaters, into our swimming pools, into our homes, and into our
Democratic convention formed their own party.
The Southern revolt against President Truman reaches its climax at Birmingham under the states' rights banner.
The so-called Dixiecrats nominated the South Carolina governor Strom Thurmond as their presidential candidate.
There's not enough troops in the army to force the Southern people to break down segregation and admit the Negroes into our theaters, into our swimming pools, into our homes, and into our...
So her parents weren't even around when this is Senator Strom Thurmond, who was a senator of South Carolina who became a governor, people. This was in the 40s right here. That was less than 100 years ago. after World War II, 1941 to 1945, when Black Americans were sitting there serving in the military, had the black towns and etc., and had to go through black pain. And so this was going on after World War II. And this little nasty, schnobbling Tether fleer has a nerve talking about Black Americans. It's a very dangerous thing. But then you ask her, what are you going to do for Black Americans who have set the foundation before your little snobbling Tether little demon self were able to fly, sneak over or flee over, or your parents fled over to America? What are you going to do? This is what she'll do.
Exit station left.
What would she do? What would she do a little bit? Especially, she gets around Black American women. Oh, and they understand. See, no, let me phrase that. There are some, anyway. So this kind of Tether, she would sit there and get in front of Black American women because she's probably went to some colleges or wherever it is, got around Black American women saying, oh, you my sister, you my African sister. Or at the same time, she looking at her with evil eyes. You understand? This is not some general podcast I'm just playing around. This is something that maybe someone takes a look at tomorrow, next day, 5 years, 8 years from now, whatever it is. You get the point. This is important stuff. This is what she is. And other Tether.
Exit station left.
Yeah, she disappeared real fast. And I think I have one more. I was going to do another show podcast on her, another one. But I think this one last one. Oh, yeah. Now, keep that in mind when I sit there and showed y'all about the Senator Strom Thurmond on that. The hatefulness that came in his mouth saying the N-word. This is why I can't stand the N-word usage like that in public. Nig. On Bad Version Hip Hop. Nig. How many other cultures talking about? Nig. I'm like, what? And this was, 80-something years ago that Senator Strom Thurmond was talking about, or Governor Strom, that became Governor Strom Thurmond. That despicable N-word, that N-word needs to be thrown in space. God dang. Now, you see, call them rednecks, this little tell, look on the outside. Now, she was walking down the street. Most people wouldn't even pay attention to her. Oh, that's a Black woman. You see how they go? See the little dastardly little situation she's about? But let's go ahead and play this. No, she's at redneck. As if she knows what a redneck truly is. Uh-oh. Wait a minute, hold on. Sorry. I think this might be the last one I'll play.
Let's not forget where it came. Call them rednecks. Go ahead. Let's not forget where it came from. Poor white farmers out in the fields from sunrise to sunset. Necks burned red from honest work, not shame. Sharecroppers breaking their backs on land they didn't own, still walking with dignity. Coal miners, the real deal rednecks. They tied red bandanas around their necks during the coal wars, standing up to corrupt companies when nobody else had the guts. And working class Americans, the ones who built this country, while being marked by the same elites who live off their labor. Redneck was never about hate. It was about solidarity, rebellion, and backbone. Being a redneck means believing in God, country, family, and freedom, and never apologizing for it. It means fixing your own problems, not waiting for handouts, and standing tall while everyone else bows to trends and outrage. So yeah, call them rednecks. Because that just means they are everything this country used to stand for.
She is dangerous. Again, she just got naturalized in the early part of this 21st century. That means year 2000 to this 2026. So she only became naturalized within the last less than 20 something years ago. So she has no idea what rednecks mean. They had nothing to do with having a red bandana around her head or neck. She is stupid. again, I bet you she has some clan type friends or clan type something around her, something. You can't be this dangerous like this and not have some of those people around her on that. So I just wanted to show this particular part on this particular tether. I wonder, I call it a timepiece purpose, because too many tethers coming out of the woodwork and they're getting too relaxed. See, they're not talking about the foreignness of colonization that's still going over there in various parts of Africa. They're not talking about how the Chinese are just grabbing up all kind of stuff in that land that she fled from, her parents and parents fled from. She's not talking about stuff like that. No, she's not. She's talking about, oh, they're hard working. She a freaking food. How many of the majority of them get food stamps? Welfare. Huh? She's not talking about that. Let alone, what about numbers her tether people that flee, that they don't have no social program in various parts of Africa, that she gets the benefit off that. She slots on a little nasty little Twinkie self under the generic black banner, right? So I can't stand lying, snibbling demon tethers like this, because they are dangerous to society. When you type in, and I'm closing with this, you type in the amount of African immigrants in America. Again, I'm not talking about some good Northern brothers in Africa. So I don't play that game. But if you type in African immigrants, the percentage of population, I think it's like less than 0.5% to 1%. And that's post 2000. That's all. So when you have this situation going on right here, hold on for a second. I hate when it does that. 1 second. I have to redo something in the background. See, this is the kind of stuff that's very important to present. Again, I'm stopping after this. I'm showing this. I got to show this one last video again on this, because it's such a poignant part of this right here on.
Who walked out of the Democratic convention formed their own party.
The Southern revolt against President Truman reaches its climax at Birmingham under the states' rights banner.
The so-called Dixiecrats nominated the South Carolina governor Strom Thurmond as their presidential candidate.
There's not enough troops in the army to force the Southern people to break down segregation and admit the Negroes into our theaters, into our swimming pools, into our homes, and into our churches.
And how many of those type of people were also, rednecks as well? Huh? I definitely truly appreciate you taking your time out, because definitely you can watch all kinds of different things. And so I definitely appreciate people taking a listen to this. And I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP Show.